What's up, everyone? How's everybody doing? This week's a little different. We got a special guest with us today, in person, in studio. We even got a live audience watching us.
We're back.
We got
in
Ryan
for the first time
in studio.
5 years. Maybe 6 years now.
Something like that. It's been a while.
So, first back in person pod.
But here we are. We'll go right back into the week 2 waivers. Ryan, what's your favorite move?
I have to say, I'm a little biased, but getting the Rams defense for $4, when there were two other offers for $3, feel pretty good about that. Added $1 right at the end. If I have to go with someone else's pick, I would have to say I do like the Hunter Henry pickup for Scott. I think he'll continue to get some looks in that offense. It seems like a little bit of an overpay looking at it here, but 11 versus 6, 11
versus 0.
Versus 0. So overpaid a little bit, but can't complain about it. It's week 1. It's time to spend some money. So
yeah, I don't think there's anything too crazy. I think the Keenan Allen one was a little steep at 37, but I mean there was a 17 and 11 on that one. I think my favorite is Justin Fields. I only had 8 on him. Probably should toss a little bit more. But I did have money on Herbert as well, so was happy to get Herbert. But I think Justin Fields, if he keeps using his rushing ability, he'll be a solid fantasy quarterback.
I agree, and it's always interesting to see some of the ads that that they only offer. So Dylan Sampson goes for $26 this week. No other offers on that. So you got to spend your money, get your guys where you want them. But we'll see how that goes later on down the road when people want Fab, if they have some injuries or what's going on.
Yeah, we'll see. But we do have some breaking news this week.
First trade of the
year. Me and Lucas, I kind of offered Lucas something. I don't even remember what it was. Took it away. Then I got Rashee Rice for Tyler Warren straight from Lucas. There's a couple other offers that went back and forth. I don't think either one of us liked those quite as much, but with George Kittle going out, I wanted a stud tight end. I really do like having a stud tight end and a guy you can just trust in that position. I think Tyler Warren's going to be excellent. And then with Judkins, kind of all the stuff going on with him and Kittle going on IR, it was tough for me to justify having another guy who was not playing football games. So I was fine getting rid of Rashee Rice. I still like Rashee Rice. I think going down the stretch, and especially the playoffs, I think he will be a great addition for Lucas's team. But one of the stud tight end for right now.
To a team with Lucas where he already had an awesome week 1 too, and does have some bench spots. He's got enough players where those bench spots are able to be used on players that aren't going to play, and he can afford to wait on Rashee Rice to come back. So
yeah, definitely.
Good trade both ways.
But we'll get back into our week 2 picks. We'll start off here with Scott and Lucas's game. I picked Lucas. Ryan also picked Lucas.
We got a couple. Lucas had a massive week 1. There's probably a little bit of recency bias here that we're seeing, but he's projected that way for a reason. McCaffrey stayed healthy through the first week. Breece Hall against Buffalo. They looked terrible against the run last week. So got some good looks from Lucas.
Great. Garrett Wilson also looked excellent last week against the Steelers. So a lot to love with Lucas's team.
Scott off to a good start, though. Jaden Daniels pulled through, got a couple late touchdowns, or one late touchdown at least, to bring it up from 12 points to 21 points. So that really helps to make it a respectable quarterback performance for him.
Yeah, and then I'll highlight one more thing. Lucas got ETN in the flex. ETN had a big week last week, and going against the Cincinnati defense that looked good last week, but last year struggled. So yeah, could be a good flex play as well.
And then we'll see that Keenan Allen pickup plays off.
Yeah,
for Scott.
Headed into the week 2 picks. This is where we are a little different here.
Yep, a little bit of differences.
So I took Sam. Sam beat me last week. I think Burrow's going to bounce back, have a good week against Jacksonville. The Patriots not having Gonzalez, and when I watched the game last week, there was just Raiders wide receivers and tight ends opened all over the field. I assume Tyreek is going to get one. Him with the ball in open space is pretty dangerous. I think Achane will probably do okay. I will say the one thing that slightly scared me about this game was, and also kind of made me pick Sam, was Baltimore going against Cleveland. I think Cleveland's defense is legit. I think they are a solid defense, and I'll be curious of what Zay Flowers is able to do.
They played really well last. I'll be interested to see how they hold up against Henry. So playing against Chase Brown last week, that's definitely a different class of running back and style of running back. So I'll be interested to see if they actually want to tackle him like Buffalo didn't. I stuck with Casey. I mean, I like Baker. I like Derrick Henry. Jamar Chase, I don't expect him to be shut down the way he was. Travis Hunter on Jamar Chase, maybe a little bit of that action on Sunday. That could be interesting to see.
Who knows?
How the rookie holds up against one of the best receivers in the league. And yeah, I'm sticking with Casey here.
Yeah, I heard Travis Hunter was going to get some more defensive snaps too, so who knows? But this one was definitely a coin flip for both of us. So
a lot of other weeks, I'd call this game of the week.
Yep. Headed into the Cub versus Joey pick. I think we both do like Cubs team. And when you have a guy who in Josh Allen that was able to put up a monster week one, it's hard not to pick Cubs team.
And we got a little bit of, it is. Josh Allen adds a whole depth to your team where you can have poor weeks from everybody and then Josh drops 40 for you, falling in the end zone a couple times, rushing, and then throwing another 2. We get a little bit of a cheat here as well, seeing that Jacobs did manage to get in the end zone, have a good week on Thursday night. We're wanted to record this one while we were together, so had to do it a little bit later in the week. But yeah, I think Cubs got a good looking squad here. I think Jefferson will continue to get some good looks from McCarthy, who looked good at the end of that game, and Joey's running back too. I mean, it just scares me.
Yeah, Joey's running back 2 does not excite me. Brock Bowers, I don't think he practiced on Thursday or Friday. I think he practiced today. So he might be a little slow, and I do think that's one of Joey's kind of best players. And kind of when you look at Joey's team versus someone else's team, when you have a Brock Bowers, you're like, oh, that's a big plus. Yeah. So with him maybe being a little bit shaky, had me leaning towards Cub. I will say you got maybe 2 rookies against each other with Tet versus Will Johnson, and Will Johnson had a great week. So maybe Tet will struggle, but like I said, we both did like Cub this week.
And another big pickup, so we'll see how Justin pays off for Joey.
Yeah,
here and,
definitely new quarterback for Joey.
Yeah, if he manages to keep that up from last week. Resident Dad.
Yep, Resident Dad and Tanner. We both picked Resident Dad.
Resident Dad. It gets my pick. I just feel a bounce back coming this week for a lot of the players on Bo's team. Jahmyr Gibbs and specifically. I think I said this last time. I don't see Jahmyr Gibbs getting 10 catches and only 31 yards.
Yeah.
Out of that.
And I do think A.J. Brown bounces back against your Kansas City Chiefs. 1 point for A.J. Brown.
I will say I'm not expecting 1 point. I mean, I'll give him a couple.
Yeah, I think he'll be a little bit better. When I looked at Tanner's team, I still like Tanner's team a lot, but I looked at Lamar Jackson versus Cleveland and Myles Garrett. He's a freak of nature, and I think Barkley. I mean, Barkley is unbelievably talented. I do like the Chiefs' defense against the run.
The Chiefs' run defenses look pretty good the last couple of times that we've seen them. They did play good. The one part that did decent in the Super Bowl was shutting down the run.
Yeah.
So, and then it's big for Bo that Drake London is actually going to play again this week, even with that AC sprain. We'll see how he looks, but big that he's going to be out there because I still think he'll hog up a lot of the targets in Atlanta.
Yeah, I will say I do like Javonte Williams and Tanner's flex. He looked really good in that first week against Philadelphia with, looks like he's going to be the guy for Dallas, and especially in and around the goal line where I think they will score some points.
And especially against the pitiful Giants.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, we both would consider game of the week. I mean, you have me versus Ryan, week 2. I think the picks here are probably pretty obvious for everyone, but I'm going to pick myself.
You got to go with your own. You got to go with your own team. I'll let you. Let's say why the other person's team might be all right.
Okay.
What you're most scared of on the.
When I look at Ryan's team, I look at James Cook. James Cook had an excellent week 1. He proves that he can be a threat in the rushing and in the receiving game for the Bills. And he's on an offense that last week scored over 40 points. I mean, what's not to like about that? I'm going to highlight one more player. Travis Kelce with no Xavier Worthy.
She gets some looks.
No Rashee Rice. You got to think Andy Reid has to feature him a little bit. So slightly worried about there. And then I will actually throw Marvin Harrison Jr. out there. He had a great week 1. I saw him flying up people's rankings over Twitter this week. So I will highlight those 3 players as players I all like.
All right. And on your side, I mean, I'll admit, going into the year, you were high on this player. I was not super high on Chase Brown. But seeing how much he did play in that game against the Browns last week, that makes me nervous because I think he'll just get opportunities and passing opportunities, rushing opportunities, chances to score touchdowns. And then the rookie running backs, I think they're just going to get better and better as the year goes on. We know that Harbaugh wants to run the ball in LA. We know that Trayvon Henderson looks like the best running back in New England. So I just think they're going to get better. And then I think really the X factor here is Amon-Ra. CD's going to get the ball. The Giants are terrible. But if we can see Amon-Ra actually bounce back and see Jared Goff be comfortable in the pocket and actually be able to do something, then that's going to make a huge difference for your team.
Yeah, I will say I am rolling, even though I did pick up Herbert, I am rolling Drake May one more week. I mean, after Daniel Jones diced up the Miami Dolphins like a hibachi chef, I mean, how can I not throw Drake May out there? I mean, this is probably a prove it week, honestly, for me and Drake May. If Drake May cannot have a big week, he might be on the waivers. Exactly.
Interesting. Well, good luck.
Good luck, Chill. Thanks for coming and being in person for this.
And we'll recap it here, I think, just so we can see a final slate of picks for everybody.
Yeah.
Again, we are keeping track, so I've still got the 2-game lead here. We've only got, I guess you can really only catch up by 2 games this week because we've only got a couple of different picks.
Yep. The first 3 are the same. A little split there on Sam versus Casey, who, like I said, we both thought really should be a good game. And then, again, if you're not picking yourself in week 2.
There's still a lot of high hopes around here.
Exactly.
You don't want to fall to 0-2. Well, it could be 0-4.
It could be 0-4, yeah.
That's a tough start.
Could be making more trades next week.
That's a tough start. I was, one thing I'll say, though, anyone who does fall to 0-4, I was 1-9 last year. And then I was in the playoffs. So there's a whole lot of season left. Let's enjoy it.
Yep. All right. Just like always, good luck, everyone. Hope everybody has a good week. No injuries.
Yep. Have a great Sunday, gentlemen.
All right. See you guys.